Tyrese Proctor was on the brand new Brotherhood podcast that Duke is starting to now put out, hosted by their current player, Ryan Young. Last week they had Flip on there, Kyle Filipowski. Today was episode 2, and Tyrese Proctor was on there. And just really quick, we'll talk about this afterwards. Tyrese, of course, could have gone to the NBA draft, probably would have gotten drafted, but he explained why he decided to come back to Duke.
But I got all the feedback from the NBA teams, and obviously,
what was that feedback?
It was good. Like, it was good feedback. It just wasn't sort of what I wanted to. Mm-hmm. Like, it put me in the position where I wanted to. Like, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took all that, talked to people I needed to talk to, and had conversations with all the coaches and stuff, and me and my family and stuff. Just thought it was the best decision for me to come back. It was ultimately on me. Like, I could have gone through the whole draft process and tried to go late first round.
Yeah.
But yet again, like, reclassifying and stuff, it sort of gave me a year. Like, I should be a freshman going into this year.
Yeah.
So it's already
still very young, so you don't lose that.
Giving me a year to get under my belt and stuff like that.
Man, a lot of what he just said right there at the end was very key.
Yeah.
He probably would have been a late first rounder. And knowing that and you still stayed in college means that you really believe that you can take your game to the next level this year, which is supposed to be his freshman year, but it'll be his sophomore year. And also that means that he believes he can get into the lottery for next year.
I think he can definitely work his way up to that. But again, just another year of physically maturing. Because again, last year he should have been a high school senior. So just more physical maturity. But again, just more seasoning and the experience of playing collegiate basketball. Imagine having, again, 2 seasons of college basketball under your belt, and you go into the NBA at age 19. That's much more beneficial than some guys who might play 2 years of college basketball. They might be a little bit older probably for their class. They might be 21. Like, sometimes, like, believe it or not, it's weird. The NBA, like, oh, this guy's 21. Not sure we're gonna draft him because of his age. Like, he's like he's cooked already.
Yeah.
Like, he can't get better. Because it used to be, back in the day, gosh, you played 3 or 4 years of college basketball. You were 21, 22 going into the NBA, and they looked at you as you're a young guy that still needs seasoning and development. But now you're like, hey, you're 21, not sure this guy's going to get any better. Like he's already done.
And you know
improving.
what's interesting?
It's weird how that has all changed in the league.
What's interesting about that is like you look at a team like the Miami Heat, and they got as far as they got. And people make a big deal about all the undrafted guys. A lot of those undrafted guys were in college for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so
Caleb Martin.
They are these guys are seasoned veterans because they've played college basketball at a very high level, and they're coming into the NBA maybe at age 22 and 23, but mature. They've gone through the fire, and now they understand the game at a certain level to where they could go and contribute to a professional team right now.
Not only that, but also some of those guys like Caleb Martin, for example, he's been an NBA player for like 3 or 4 years as well. So he's not like he's just some like undrafted guy that is a rookie or a second-year guy that they just brought up from the G League.
He's 21 trying to figure it out, and he's been professional for 3 years.
Exactly. This guy actually knows, like, he understands his game and can develop his game. So, yeah, I think it's good move on Tyrese, in all honesty, staying for that year because, yeah, you might have gotten the word like you could be a late first-round pick, but that does not guarantee anything. You could easily fall into the second round. Some people were even projecting early in the draft process that Terquavion Smith might have been a late first-round pick or early second-round pick. He went undrafted. And so those are things you got to keep in mind as well. There's zero guarantee.
Here's the thing about Tyrese Proctor, and you mentioned it. He's a young guy. He may not be done growing. He's 6'5". Well, last year he was listed at 6'5". Who knows? Like I think I officially stopped growing as far as getting taller. I'm not very tall, but I stopped getting taller literally when I was 19. Like that's when I stopped growing vertically.
Yeah,
so
mine was my junior year of college.
So he could still possibly put on an inch or two in height, but then also he's going to get bigger, in his body, and he's going to have a better playing body. he's also going to have an interesting – Duke is returning, I think, 81% of their scoring from last year, plus with a lot of freshmen coming in, 4 new freshmen and 1 transfer. He also spoke on his podcast how the team will look different this upcoming season than what they looked like this past season.
We're going to play really different compared to last year, because obviously last year we were a lot taller and bigger and stuff like that. But I think we're going to be spaced out offensively a lot. I think we're going to be, we're going to be good. I'm just looking forward to just being a leader, being the starting point guard coming back and just leading these young guys, try and get them up to speed as quick as I can. And obviously the guys that we have returning is going to be good as well, because we sort of lacked that experience a bit early last year.
Okay, the part where it's like, lead these young guys. The class that he was supposed to be in.
The guys that you were supposed to come in
The guys
with.
you're the same age as. I just find it interesting.
Yeah.
But he does have that year of experience, which does help.
Yeah.
I totally get what he's saying, though. I found that interesting. But yeah, they're going to look a lot different because you take away Derek Lively down low. You take away Dariq Whitehead. Get 2 guys that went into the NBA. So yeah, your size and everything down low is going to look a little bit different.
And this don't let this go. Like 6'6" Jacob Grandison, who could come off the bench and give you some good minutes defensively and also shooting corner threes.
So this team's going to operate a little bit different, but it's still going to be a really, really young team, really, really young roster. But they have a lot of good talent coming back. Filipowski and Proctor both coming back is big for Duke and head coach John Shire. I think also one of the big additions coming back, I say additions, but key pieces coming back is Jeremy Roach.
Yeah.
How do he and Proctor work together as a backcourt tandem? Do you put the ball more in Proctor's hands and have Jeremy Roach work off ball?
Yes.
Because that's not something we saw last season. I think that might work out.
We did towards the end of the year.
But yeah, towards
the end of the year, that's what happened. And it worked very well.
It really did. And I think those two working together in tandem, because you have 2 guys that can facilitate the ball really well. And as you mentioned to me before the show, Chris, it's going to be easier for Jeremy Roach not only to, if the ball does come to him, he can work the ball either into the low post to Filipowski or maybe work off ball for his scoring opportunities as well, as opposed to being just a primary facilitator.